What energy can we expect in the week ahead? Why don't you join me for the weekly wisdom? Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to or watching the Manifest on Purpose show. I am the host of that show, Kimbaley. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. And thank you for all of those you've invited to join too. The God in me loves the God in you. Today is about the weekly wisdom. But before we get into that, I'm going to let you know that this show has been brought to you by Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. The palmistry series is coming up. This workshop is going to be awesome. If you want to learn the art of reading the palm, please click on the QR code at the bottom of the link, or you can go to Linktree/numbers and you, where you can find some of his other amazing and awesome products. Also, make sure that you visit me on Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com, to get your Astro-Numerology yearly forecast. You can also get a compatibility report. You can book a consultation. And now I am doing consultations and reports for your business. Make sure that your business is in alignment with success. Once again, that website is Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. So without further ado, we're going to get into the weekly wisdom. First, I'm going to let you know what the weekly wisdom is, and then we're going to jump right into it. So the weekly wisdom is what we use to determine what we can expect in the week ahead energetically. What is this week going to be like? And I do that by having an oracle card reading the numerology on the cards, coupled with my intuition. And I start with a collective reading or universal reading. And from there, I read all of the birthday numbers from 1 to 9 and the corresponding zodiac sign. So you will listen for your birthday number, and some people will also resonate with their zodiac sign. So find out which one works best for you. And if there's something here that resonates with you, make sure you let me know all about it in the comment sections. I love to hear your testimonies. I love to hear a little bit more about your journey. And if you hear something that you want to get deeper into, once again, you can go to Kimbaley.com and book your consultation. Okay, we're going to start with our collective reading, and I'm going to use the Wisdom of the Oracle. And this is by Colette Baron Reed. As you can see, I get stuck on the same cards, but I'm going to start switching the cards up. But I get used to a deck, and then it's hard for me to switch to another one. So I'll have to work on doing that. And for the advice card, I'm going to pull that from my Trusty Dusty Trust Your Vibes by Sonia Jacquet. And at the end, I will read an affirmation to end the reading. And for each reading, I'm going to just give the cards one big shuffle. And what happens is I'll just pull the cards by the deck. I hope you had a great week last week Please let me know how your week was ahead. Like I said, I enjoy listening to your comments or reading your comments. Some of them are very interesting, very interesting. Make sure I shuffle these good. One more. Stop right there. So this is for the universal reading. Very first card, a change in the wind. That's a number 12 here. This is letting me know that something is about to be different. You're going to get a message. It's going to be some type of communication to you from the universe, letting you know that it's time for you to make a shift. But what this is really telling you is pay attention to this shift. Make sure you're using your skills of observation. That's a better way of saying it. Make sure that you are aware of your surroundings and make sure that you got positive things on your mind, because this is what you're going to need during this time of shift or time of change. As you can see, there's a zebra here. And what this zebra represents to me is something different. It's something that you haven't experienced before. And I'm feeling like you may be a little bit nervous about this thing, but it's time for something different. If you don't do anything different, nothing new happens. So what this overall reading is going to be about is this shift, because this is the very first card, and I call that card the cornerstone card. So this is letting us know that something is about to change for you. And it's going to be directly related to your work. This is the 42-6 card, and this 6 is letting me know that it may have something to do with service. It may have something to do with teaching. It may have something to do with your family or your relationships. But there's going to be a shift or a transition in the way that you handle these things. You're going to be more busy during this time. And busy is not necessarily a bad thing. So I'm not going to call it busy. I'm feeling that you're going to be more productive in this time. You're going to see changes in areas that you've been looking for a long time. So this is going to be a very positive shift for you. Yes, it is. The number 6 card came up again. You know, and when I think about the number 6, I can't help but think about Venus. You know, and a lot of people associate Venus and the number 6 with love. And yes, it is love. And it also can be something else, you know. It can also be service. It can also be teaching. But what I'm feeling right here, this is abundance. So there's going to be a shift in your abundance or the way you think about abundance. This is the milk and honey card. This is letting me know that when they say milk and honey, that means the best of the best. You know, and when I think about Venus, a lot of people forget that it's the romance and finance number. So we have to remember that this can also be financial rewards for you, number 6. And the number 4 card comes up amongst all these shifts. And what this is saying is this transition is taking a place in order for you to build something. And it's knowing that, and we know that because these sixes came up, it's going to take great relationships for you to co-create. That means that you're not doing everything all by yourself. You know, this is getting in groups and being in alignment with the same thing, you know, being around people that either already have the things that you want, or those people that are striving to get the things that you want, so that you can continue to vibrate on that highest level frequency. And when you do get around people that have already gotten the things that you are desiring, then these people can help push you forward. So this is saying use your ability to build great relationships to help you succeed during this transition. And let's go to the Trust Your Vibes deck. I hope someone is feeling this. I hope somebody is getting it. And it's strange because sometimes I think, you know, sometimes I don't think that people may get the message, but then I usually get confirmation from others like, yeah, that message was just for me. So if it was just for you, I feel like I've done my job. So now I'm going to pull the advice card for this week's universal reading. Okay, one more shuffle. The 7 card is here. It is saying just be grateful, because the energy that I'm feeling is that there are already people on your path that are willing to help you wherever you need to get to. This is saying appreciate those people. Be grateful for them first and then appreciate them. Once you appreciate them, you show your appreciation. And let me tell you a little secret about that. When you show your appreciation for other people, then they do more to make you appreciate them even more. So make sure that these people that are helping you on this journey, that you're giving them their due credit. You're appreciating what they do and letting them know that that is what you're doing. And so with this 52-7, it's letting me know that sometimes you have to take a deeper look at the people that are in your life and see just the wonderful things that they're doing for you. Not saying that it always happens, but sometimes people can be in your life doing wonderful things for you, but you may take it for granted. So this is also calling for you to take a deeper look within to see if you are really appreciating everything that everybody is helping you with during this transition. Okay, so we're going to go with the birthday number 1. If you're born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month, you are number 1. Or if you come on the sign of Leo and Aquarius, you are a number 1. 36-9, number 1, come to the edge. Number 1, it is your nature to be on the edge. And this 9 card is kind of like you a little bit. Number 1, its nature is to be on the edge too. So this is telling you to go ahead and tap into what's innate in you, what you already have. I feel like this energy has been shut off because So many times you have wanted to take risk. You wanted to step out of the box. You wanted to step out on faith, but you may have been concerned about what other people had to say or what other people thought about you. But number one, here's a secret for you. It is your purpose to be different than everybody else. That's what you're here for. That's why you're innovative. That's why you're the leader, because you can come up with these ideas that are outside of the box, because you're interchangeable with the number 4. It is not your job to be just like everybody else. So this is giving you the opportunity to embrace that part in you, become confident enough to be able to take that risk when you have to. Once you notice that you can do it, then you'll begin to be in the habit of doing it over and over again. And this transition that is happening for you is going to require you to come close to the edge. So, what is your advice card number 1? Let's see. And the number 4 card came up. This is significant because I just said the number 4 is interchangeable with the number 1. This is saying be flexible. This is saying do things that are different. Don't worry about being like everybody else or going by the rules or following everybody else. You stay concerned with what's going on in your circle, and you do what's different. You do what you do best, and that's stand out, number 1. So we're going to go on to the number 2. If you're born on the 2nd to the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of the month, you are number 2. Or if you come under the signs of Cancer, you are a number 2. And number 2, this is a 3 card. I can barely get it out. A 21-3 card. It says clean it up. So the energy that I'm feeling with this number 2 is don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. It's okay. Just clean it up. You know, I remember a time when I was growing up and I was so afraid because I dropped the glass on the floor. I was at somebody else's house and I was afraid because I did not know what they were going to do. I thought they would be mad about the glass being on the floor. So I just stood there stunned and in shock. And the lady of the house said, well, what's going on? And I said, I dropped the glass on the floor. And she was like, it's okay, baby, just clean it up. You know, so we're not perfect. We all make mistakes. But hey, when you realize that you made a mistake, the beautiful thing is you have the ability to go back and make corrections. So whatever happened, especially in the past, don't worry about it. Clean it up, number 2. And the advice card for you, number 2, is the 8 card. Name your higher self. This right here is saying that your focus should be on something bigger than these little things that you may be stressing over at this time. Name your higher self. You know, focus on your spiritual journey. Focus on going deep within yourself and getting to know yourself on a deeper level. Don't worry about how things was. There's nothing you can do about it. The past is the past is the past. You cannot change it. It's done. It's over with. But what you can do is clean it up. and move forward. And sometimes you may need a little help from whoever you call on as your highest. Now we're going to move on to the number 3. If you're born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, you are a number 3. Or if you come under the sign of Pisces or Sagittarius, you are a number 3. And this just went into this. The last card. This is the 32-5 card. This number 5 energy. This number 5 energy is air energy, meaning it can be anywhere. Air is everywhere, and the number 5 likewise is over here, over there, over here, over there, never really being in one place for a long period of time. But this card right here says that throughout this transition that you're going to be going through, what's going to serve you is to be here in the present moment, in the here and now. And I just talked about this in the last card. The past is gone. It's no more. No matter what you do, you cannot get it back. I remember thinking that I used to have these memories of going out and having fun. And I think about it and I decide, I'm going to go relive that night. And I go back and I notice that it's never going to be like it was before. That's because the past is gone. The future is not yet here. Number 5. We're still waiting on that. It's not here yet. What's here is now. So what you're going to have to do during this transition, number 5, is you're going to have to focus on what's happening right here, meaning your temple, right now. It hasn't happened yet. And I'm feeling that there's a nervous energy and anxiety energy. Somebody's like wondering, what if this happens? What if that happens? And most of the time it doesn't even lead to what you think it should. But what you must understand is when you play those scenarios in your mind, you can really create that as a reality in your mind. So instead of focusing on what's going to happen tomorrow, focus on what's happening today, what's happening right here. And the advice card is 23-5. This is significant because it matches the number on the card, number 3. What do you love? That's what you got to focus on. Focus on. And number 3, this is a part of your nature. Focus on the things that you love to do, because you have that play-like energy. You have that jolly energy. You're creative. There are so many things that you enjoy doing. That's what you should be focused on to help you stick in the present moment, number 3. Because remember, whatever you do expands. So whatever your focus is on, it's going to get bigger. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's going to expand. Now let's move on to the number 4, born on the 4th, the 13th, 22nd, or 31st of the month, or coming to signs of Aquarius or Leo. You are number 4. And this is the number 6 card for you, number 4. The 6 is your opposition, number 4. And what this card says, it's a fortune cookie, and it has a message for you. And the message for you is, it's not for you. If it's something that you've been working on for the longest period of time and it's not working out for you, it's not for you. No matter how much you've dreamed about it, no matter how good it feels to you, if it just won't seem to come together after a certain amount of time, it is not for you. It is not for you. And it does not mean that you can't have it. It could be not right now. That's the energy that I'm feeling. And I'm also feeling that it could be something better down the line. That's what this transition is about. It's like you're so sure of this thing, but it's not for you. It's something better waiting for you, number 4. So this right here is saying that you're going to have to be patient. And because this is 6, it could mean relationships, could be a love relationship, could be something that deals with the family or the home. It could be a home. I feel like I'm hitting on something when I said home, but it's not for you. You know, I remember back in the day, there was something that I really, really wanted, and it never seemed to come through for me. And I kept wondering, what's happening? Why can I not manifest this thing? But in hindsight, I can look back and say, man, I'm glad I didn't manifest that thing, So sometimes, you feel like you're stuck or you feel like you can't get what you want, but sometimes rejection is protection. And let me see what the advice card, and this is the number 1 card. It says woo woo is wonderful. So the energy that I'm feeling with this woo woo is wonderful thing. It's like whatever this is, you you know it's not for you. However, you still want to entertain it because you still want it. So you're psyching yourself out to believe that whether it's for you or not, you're going to make it work. But what happens in the end is if you continue to resist and go against the tides, then it's not going to work out the way that you would like for it to work out in the long run. So just be patient, number 4. Something better is coming. Now we're going to go to the number 5, born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month. Or if you come under the sign of Gemini and Virgo, you are a number 5. 14, 5. So this card is significant to you. And so it says, truth be told. And this right here is saying that you already know that this is a transition that you're going through. And now that you can grow through this transition. Follow your intuition, number 5. Listen to what source energy or the highest energy is telling you to do, because what you're hearing and what you're feeling is very much real, number 5. And is confirmed because this is the 14-5 card, which aligns with your birthday number. So pay attention, because of what you're being told now from your source, what you're feeling in your bones is absolutely true. And the advice card is you've been told to be generous. And this right here is the number 50 card, which breaks down to 5. So what this card is saying is that Source has been letting you know that you're going to have to give. And it's not always necessarily a monetary gift. Sometimes giving could be of your time, of your love, extending gratitude to a person or appreciation. There's so many ways to give. And you've been hearing that for the longest amount of time, but you just have not gotten to that place where you have began to do that on the level that you should be at this time. So during this transition, it is going to be important for you to give, because when you give, you receive. And when you receive, you're supposed to give. It's supposed to work like a cycle, like a flow. If at any time the giving stops or the receiving stops, then you stop the cycle. So, in order for you to receive more in your life, you have to make sure that you are being generous yourself. Now, let's move on to the number 6. If you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month, or come under the signs of Libra or Taurus, you are a number 6. Between both worlds, number 6. And this is the 3 card. It's time for you right now, number 6, to figure out what you're going to do. Right now, you're in between both worlds. And if we go back to the card earlier, then it talks about being stuck in the past, being in the here and now. So what's happening is you're in 2 worlds at one time. And the reason why is you're not here and now in this moment. It's like you're trying to keep, it's like you're an octopus. You got one hand, you got one tentacle in the back, and you got another tentacle in front of you, and you're just trying to take care of everything all at one time. And this is dead on because I'm hearing it in my ear. But it's time for you to make a choice. Which way are you going to do it? Are you going to stay in darkness? You see, this side is dark. Or are you going to step over into the light? The light is right now. And I'm feeling like this energy is about you being able to express your creativity. It's like, it's a gift that you have. And it's a very special gift, and it's kind of unique. And maybe that's why you haven't been able to express it yet. And it may not be something like outrageous. It could be something like you are a musician and a lot of people don't know it, or you sing well and people don't know it because you're scared to come to the forefront. This is saying for you, number 6, that you need to come into the light and you need to fully express your creativity, because that is what you should be doing at this time. This is the transition that you need to make into your life. And it may seem a little chaotic until you finally grasp it, because whatever this thing is, whatever this talent or whatever you have to express has been waiting for your expression of it for a long time. So now it's right and it's ready for you to finally let it go. And the advice card is your card 24/6. Claim your boundaries, because it's a 24/6. This card is telling you that you need to pay attention to this. It's claiming your boundaries. Perhaps one time before you trusted in expressing your creativity, and it did not get the reception that you thought that it should. And you let those things kind of get the best of you and make you shut yourself down. For example, like A lot of people may not know it, but when I was younger, I kind of muted myself. And the reason why I did is because I used to get a lot of teasing about how I talk and how I spoke or whatever. And I just stopped speaking unless I was spoken to. And then I would not say much at all. So I shut off that form of communication because of what others were saying. And it may be the same way for you in another area in your life, that you've stopped something because others have made you feel bad about it or ashamed about it. But now this is saying claim your boundaries. You need to know that you shouldn't take it personal. You should not take it personal at all, because not everybody will always like everything that you do. But at the same time, you have to have that confidence within yourself that what other people say won't affect your decision. So we're going to move on to the number 7, born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th of the month. You are a number 7. Number 7, you have happy, happy card. This is the 26-8 card. What this energy is telling me is that no matter what happens in your life, it's important for you to stay happy. I didn't mean to say it 3 times in one sentence, but maybe we need to hear happy, happy, happy. But you should be focused on staying happy, because when you are happy, you're growing, and it deepens the connection or the spiritual connection with the higher source. So make sure that you are always happy and in a high vibrational mood, because a lot of times when you step outside of that happiness, it's easy for you to begin to worry or begin to think of other things. And the energy that I'm feeling is because this little girl sitting on this happy card is sitting on an egg, and it's the 26 card. And with the 26 card, it's an 8. So it makes me think about 8 is finance first and then romance. So sitting on this, I hear sitting on the nest egg. That's what this is. And the energy says that as long as you're sitting on the nest egg, then you should be happy. And when you think about it, when I said that, I saw like maybe a hen sitting on eggs, waiting for the eggs to hatch, And I thought about that energy, like it should be a happy energy during that time, because the new birth is about to happen. And so it's the same thing with this nest egg. Whether this nest egg is where you think it should be or where you want it to be, is saying you should be happy as long as you're sitting on it, because just the fact that you are sitting on it in that happy vibration, it means that this nest egg is going to grow more than you can imagine, just through your happiness. And this is the 14-5 card. It says call on your healer guides. And so what this means is that whenever you're feeling that energy where the happiness is just not there, get into that deep meditation, get into that spiritual connection, tap in to raise your vibration. There's so many things that you can do to raise your vibration, some of which is listening to music, or if you have a hobby that you enjoy doing, try that hobby on a more frequent, regular basis. If it's going to help you raise your vibration, then it's something that you need to continue to do and consider doing a little bit more. So we're going to move on to the number 8, born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. You are a number 8 and you have the 24-8 card, the 24-6 card. And it says it's time for you to take a nap. So the energy that I'm feeling here is, well, one thing about the 8 is this the harvest cycle, and it means that you're reaping the rewards or benefits from everything that you've already collected. It's the harvest. And it takes work to get to that point. And I'm not talking about physical work or physical labor, but, it requires persistence, and it requires you to be loyal. It requires you to stay focused on whatever it is that you're doing. So when you get to this harvest stage, chances are you may need a little rest. Don't ignore that. Number 8, when your body tells you to rest, rest. And the reason this energy is here is because sometimes the 8 can be so caught up in the business of things that they rarely take time to rest. But rest is a very natural part and a very necessary part of our lives. So you must make sure that for the sake of your well-being, you are getting your rest. And let's go to the advice card here. Feed your spirit. And this is the master number 11 card. And I like that for you, 8. This is saying that rest or being a time for a nap can really mean, shutting yourself off from the world for a little while to get deeper into yourself, a deeper knowing, to tap into your spirit. This is a time for you to visualize some of the things that you would like to have and some of the things that you have already accomplished so that you can be appreciative of these things. This is also a time where you should be raising the awareness of the consciousness of others. So while you here take a nap, it's you're taking a break from the regular work part, but you're tapping into the other part of work, and that's the spiritual side of it. Okay, so feed your spirit. And we're going to go on to the number 9, born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, or come under the sign of Aries and Scorpio. All that glitters. And this is the number 16, 7 card. And number 9, this is just telling you, and I've heard this for a few readings for you, it's time to slow it down a little bit. It's time to bring it in and pay attention to what's happening around you, because there's a lot of things that looks good to you and feel good to you, but it may not be all that it's cracked up to be or all that it seems to be. So number 9, this is telling you to take your time and to look deeper into these things that is happening in your life. And then with the 16 7, it has an interchangeable number, and that number is the number 2. Number 2 is telling me here, first of all, you need to be patient about things. Number 2, you need to be patient. You need to take a look at the details. Everything that you do, make sure that you're paying attention to the details. This means that you should not be too impulsive. You should pay attention to everything that you're doing at this point, especially so since we are in Mercury retrograde. And your advice card is telling you it's time for you to play a little bit. It's time for crayons, so take a break out sometime. When you shift your mind from regular work or regular everyday stuff to rest, then your creativity comes out a little bit more. When you're not stressed out about things, you become more creative. So when you are able to do things that you really enjoy doing, and we go back to that happy again, and you get in that stage of being happy, then insights will come in that you would have not ordinarily heard. That's because you've slowed down. Your mind is focused. You're paying attention. So let's get it, number 9. And so we're going to move on to our affirmation for today. Let's see what we got. Whatever you think you can do or believe you can do, begin it. Action has magic, grace, and power in it. Whatever you think you can do or believe you can, begin it. Action has magic, grace, and power in it. And I feel like that's what this transition is all about. In the very first birthday card, it was talking about coming closer to the edge. A lot of times when things start shifting and transitioning in people's lives, it kind of looks chaotic. But these times are not necessarily here to make us struggle. These times are not here to drive us crazy. These times are here so that we can grow. We're here for evolution. So from the time we get here to the time we leave, then we are growing, or we should be growing. And in order to grow, we have to change, and change is just another way to say transition. So keep that in focus this week. Pay attention to the things that are happening around you. What transitions do you notice? Not only that, what transitions should you be making for improvement in your life? Because there are some things that you can transform in order to improve. Well, this is our weekly wisdom for this week. Wishing you the best week ever. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.